Having a bad hair day, you see? So I decided to take advantage of one of the trends I talk about here today.
Hold up, place go wild when I pull up. They all on me like they want some. Think I got what you need, well I have none. Hop off, you're a freak and I'm handsome. Slide up in the club like 2 chains. This snake is on top of the food chain. Stand out like a star, no new name.
Alright, hey there fashion friends, welcome to today's episode. I'm very happy that you joined me here today for this video. Alright, so today's episode, fashion trends for 2024 that can bring in that edge to your classic pieces. I obviously speak a lot to having a edgy classic wardrobe, and I think what's so great about an edgy classic wardrobe is that you can have this sort of foundation of classic sophisticated pieces that are going to be timeless and work for you for years and years and years. But then because of that, it's an easy way to then bring in some contrasting pieces, some contrasting details. If you approach trends in the sense of using it as something to inspire your wardrobe, then I think it can be a beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's why I like to do these videos where I share fashion trends that I feel that are still going to be timeless and classic. All right, so I think with that, let's get started. Trend number 1 is girlish charm. Yes, you know I love a bit of girlish charm, and specifically what I mean by girlish charm for the trends for 2024 is the bows and the rosettes. And I think these are just timeless, easy ways to bring in just like a little touch of girlish charm when needed. Somebody like me who has sort of a androgynous style, I always like to have that balance. So if something's feeling a little too boyish for me or a little too masculine, I always love bringing in just touches of femininity or girlish charm. The great thing about a bow specifically is that you can literally like go home, grab some ribbon out of your closet and tie a little bow around your neck or tie a bow in your hair. So it's like an easy one to incorporate. You don't really have to spend any money to incorporate it. Trend number 2 is preppy edge. So how do you get preppy edge? You ultimately just bring in some preppy, more collegiate sort of vibe, then mixed in with something that's more contrasting. Maybe it's something edgy, maybe it's something more casual, maybe it's something more street, maybe it's something more elegant, sophisticated. It's just another option for bringing in contrast. And preppy is just always going to work, isn't it? Polo shirts, button-up shirts, khakis, those type of things. They're always on trend, they're always classic, and they're always gonna work for you within your style in some form or another. They will be able to be translated in different ways. Trend number 3 is better basics, which is great because I love a good basic, because I think there's beauty in simplicity. If you find a better basic, something that has just a little touch of style or a little bit of edge or just a little touch of interest or design, then it's something that you can easily have stand on its own. And then as well as that, obviously you can build off of that. Kind of works as a blank canvas. So I just think it brings in a lot of diversity to the wardrobe. But yes, I think the trend specifically is just highlighting our basics and making them more of a showpiece, more of a feature. Number 4 is everyday power dressing. You know I love a good power suit. You know I love a good blazer, you know I love a good pantsuit, because I think it is something that should be worn every day and doesn't need to necessarily be worn just by the office goers. I think it's something that can be worn by a stay-at-home mom or a retired grandpa because it does invoke a certain power. So really just embracing those workwear, sophisticated sort of pieces, those power pieces into our everyday lifestyle outfits. Number 5 is depth and volume. Having more drama when it comes to our lengths and our volume. It is just such a fun, playful way to really bring in some edge and some elevation to our more classic type pieces. It does give you another element of that edge, of that contrast, of that like cutting edge sort of silhouette. And I think it brings in a lot of diversity because I think you can do a lot with that, different combinations. I love that you can manipulate those sort of silhouettes more. There's just a lot more room to kind of play, you know, pun intended, with the styling, which I think is great for long term and maintaining that sort of interest for yourself long term. Number 6 is color poppin'. I don't think color poppin' ever goes out of style. I think it is such a fun one for those of us, especially who are sort of minimalist in our wardrobe, in our style, because that's really when I get a little bit more bold with my colors, because I think it then elevates things more. I think it's nice to have that option when you're feeling a little bit fruity and you want to have a color pop. Just little things like hats or scarves or socks. So if you're not already color popping and it's something that's enticing you and inspiring you, then I think it is one that you can definitely invest in. Now, of course, there are certain color pops that are more on trend currently. Highlighter green, you know, obviously red, cobalt blue, also like the millennium pink, but just make sure it's colors that when they're not on trend, you're still gonna be excited about. Number 7 is Eclectic Chic. Yes, or otherwise what some call grandma chic. I don't like calling it grandma chic because I don't think all grandmas are this vibe. I don't think all grandmas are eclectic. So it's more speaking to like, you know, your stereotypical grandma sort of style of like the crocheted scarves or the crocheted hoods or the crocheted sweaters or multicolored type cardigans. Obviously, this is very much speaking to that contrasting of bringing in those more eclectic pieces, then kind of combined with your more casual street sort of stuff or your more sophisticated type stuff, youthful type stuff, to have those contrasts and to really then elevate the pieces. So I just think it's a perfect example of what I speak to a lot about edgy classic. Number 8 is Sporty Spice. Again, fun contrast to bring in to my more classic sophisticated pieces. You know, case in point, a lot of you have seen my vintage Viking sweatshirt. Skull. I think what's really brought this around is the US Open. People are here for it and, you know, they're all rocking their little sporty attire. And then of course the whole Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce sort of moment. It's a great way to bring in some contrast to classic or sophisticated pieces, all while still being classic, always going to bring in contrast. And so if it's something that you're being pulled in by, or it's something that you already have in your wardrobe, now it's just like a fun way of being like, oh, I can style this in a different way and make it a little bit more elevated or a little more chic. And then as the years go on, it'll obviously have a little evolution and you'll probably style it different ways as the years go on, because that's really what it is when it comes to trends, is I'd say most trends are just recycled. It's really just about, you know, changing up some styling. So you can easily invest in these pieces and make them work for you for years to come. Okay, so those are the fashion trends for 2024 that I feel can bring some edgy contrast to your wardrobe. Common denominator of all these trends is the fact that they can be timeless and really help to balance out the rough edges of maybe your more edgier pieces, or they can bring in a contrast to your more sophisticated or classic pieces to further elevate as well. That is the beauty of trends though, is that you get to choose which ones you want to pull in, which ones you don't. And something that we can really make our own, translate into our own style to make it something that is personal, without feeling like you're running with the crowd. All right, well, I hope that you found today's episode helpful. Comment down below and let me know which one of these trends was your favorite, if there's ones that you already have, or if there's anything that I missed out that you feel should be included. Let's hear from you. I hope that everybody's new year is off to a good start. You have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Stay healthy, stay safe, love, and support each other, and we will definitely be chatting soon. Bye.